It seems like another lifetime ago now, but try to remember back to the start of last year's NBA playoffs. The chief complaint was that, yet again, the Warriors were loaded and the result seemed predetermined. Except, of course, the joke was on all of us. Not only did last year's postseason not go according to chalk, pretty much nothing since has been what we expected. I mean, we're watching playoff games in August in a bubble in Orlando, and if that wasn't enough, yesterday, pretty much nothing went as predicted. Both the Thunder Rockets game and the Heat Pacers game were supposed to be hotly contested and loaded with spice. And yet in the end, neither the James Harden-Chris Paul dynamic nor the Jimmy Butler-TJ Warren dislike mattered that much, as Miami and Houston each won easily. And then the games that have traditionally been easy, the 1 versus 8 matchups, yeah, again, not so much yesterday. Right from the start of the day with Bucks Magic, you could see the impact of not having any fans in the arena. Take this spin move here from Giannis. Normally would have brought the house down, right, if this game had been played in Milwaukee. Instead, players on the court heard only slightly more than golf claps, which meant that on the next possession, instead of being rattled, the Magic's Gary Clark had the confidence to calmly do this. Afterward, he explained.
I think this bubble atmosphere, for me, is a little bit easier because, you know, it's not all loud and fans are going crazy every possession that, you know, like tonight, some of those big spin and dunks he would have had, it would have been going, you know, berserk. And it's hard for some teams to just bounce back from stuff like that, but in this kind of atmosphere, it's just like next play.
And the next play, and the next. The Bucks got so frustrated that at one point, Brook Lopez took things out on a poor, unsuspecting chair, an act which I imagine was repeated by someone who had bet on the game. After all, Vegas had predicted Milwaukee would win this one by 13.5 points. Instead, they lost it by 12, which made this the third largest upset in the NBA in the past 20 years. And yet, turned out to be only the beginning. Fast forward to Blazers-Lakers, which we all knew was not going to be your typical 1 versus 8 matchup, but still wasn't predicted to go like this. LA has 2 of the league's top 5 players this season, yet the whole team struggled offensively, especially beyond the arc, where the Lakers shot less than 16%. 16%! And while LeBron James had an impressively complete game, racking up a 20-point triple-double, it wasn't he who took over at the end. It was, yep, Damian Lillard. This shot came with just under 6 minutes to go. Not only did it bring the Blazers from behind to tie the score, but afterward, Dame gave us a little flavor as the arena DJ played some Too Short.
They played the East Oakland anthem. So it was only right that I acknowledge the East Oakland anthem and go dumb for a second.
It's only right, man. It's only right. Even more impressive, though, was this basket a few possessions later. Yeah, that was 36 feet over a 6'10" Anthony Davis. It was all so dazzling that later on TNT, Kenny Smith said he now thinks Dame has more range than Steph Curry, which in turn prompted a tweet from Steph saying, "Love you, the Jet, but you're tripping right now." Oh, and while that was going on, Charles Barkley was not just pronouncing the Blazers would go on to sweep this series. He actually got out a broom. Chuck, never change. Now, personally, I can't see a sweep. The Lakers are still favored to win this series, and they should be. But LA would be wise to heed the words of George Karl, who was also tweeting last night, quote, "Lakers should feel worried at this point. Trust me, I know about losing to a number 8 seed." The bottom line is, in this bubble in Orlando in August, all of the constructs of last year are gone. In fact, all the constructs we've ever had in the NBA are different. Nothing is predictable. Let the bubble bedlam begin. All right, so Paul, what do you think? Which fan base should be more worried today, the Bucks or the Lakers, given that, well, we don't know what's happening in the bubble right now?
Oh, that's easy call, Rachel. That's the Lakers. I mean, they really are going to be threatened by the Blazers. I mean, this is not your normal 8th seed. You got to understand, if the Blazers were healthy, they would be a top 4 seed in the Western Conference. So this is not your normal 8th seed where the 1 seed just sweeps by them in 4 or 5 games. No, this team is going to put up a fight. And I'm concerned about the Lakers. I'm concerned. They may go down in history as the third team to lose to an 8th seed in the first round, because this is the best 8th seed that the NBA has ever seen in NBA history.
All of America is surprised that Paul Pierce is concerned about the Lakers. I'll tell you that right now. That's a stunning one. The thing about it is, look, the Bucks didn't play their best game, and the Magic were awesome. That's one of the best games I've seen Nikola Vucevic ever play. They've overall had a great game plan. You take your hat off to them. Here's the thing about the Lakers. Yeah, they didn't shoot the ball well, and yeah, they're not going to shoot 5 of 32 on threes the rest of this series. For sure, they're going to improve on that. But the Blazers didn't play well either. The Blazers don't win games when they shoot 38% because they're generally a poor defensive team. Dame Lillard, by his standards, he was awesome hitting a couple of big shots at the end, but by his standards, it was a below average game. That's right, 35 points is below average for Dame in the bubble. They're going to get better too. And the thing about it is, Rachel, the Lakers are not great offensively from the perimeter. They haven't been great offensively from the perimeter in the whole bubble. Interior-wise, the Blazers are good. They've got good interior defense and poor perimeter defense. They're going to have to take advantage of those open shots, or they are going to be in trouble, like Paul Pierce said.
Yeah, and we have seen 8 seeds topple 1 seeds before, but never quite like this. We've never had the 2 number 1 seeds. I think it's like once in the last 36 years they both lost in their opening day games. So it's unusual in the bubble. And Paul, if you were coaching the Bucks right now, or if you were a player in that locker room, what would you tell the rest of the team about what they had to do in game 2?
I mean, I wouldn't really be concerned. I mean, the Bucks have been here before. They've lost game 1s where they were favored, and they're a team that I've seen bounce back over the last couple of years. So I wouldn't get too worried. I think they know that they're gonna win this series, by the way. And they may win 4 straight.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.